All right, welcome back, guys. In this video, we're going to demonstrate exactly how I created a TopstepX trading bot. And this is the interface for it, and we'll take a look at the interface in just a second. This was by far one of the hardest trading bots I've ever created. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how it was done. So the first thing I did is I went over to ChatGPT and I told it to take my trade station strategy. This is just another program I had. You can watch the video on this strategy, but another program I had that traded an algorithm on TradeStation automatically. So I already had that set up. So I just told ChatGPT, okay, create me a program to actually trade this with the TopstepX broker. So it immediately told me that you can't trade directly from a program with TopstepX, and it takes me through this long list of things that would need to be done, and I'm going to break it down for you very quickly. So the first thing it did once we got to the code is we need to do here is if you don't already have this done, you don't have to go all the way with this step. But what I did first is I created the script or the code for Python. I had it create a Python script. And Python is something you can actually download if you want to. You don't have to go this far, but what I did is I had it create the Python script and I got the script working. All right. So basically it gives you all the instructions. You tell it what your trading logic should be. So for example, mine is when the candle crosses and closes above a certain EMA. And then of course you can see here, no intentions of building like a platform or an interface for it. I had this working directly in Python. So what you would do is you would actually go to I think it's Python or pi.org. If you go over here to, yeah, python.org, you would download Python, the latest version of Python. And to get that started, you would go over here to the command prompt and you would just type in Python, right? So once you type in Python, you would paste your code here. So again, ChatGPT gives you the code. You would paste your code here, you would copy it, and this is not going to work because I don't have everything filled out. It tells you to put your Topstep API token here and your account information here. We'll talk about that in just a second. So what you would do is you would paste your code into the Python window here, and then you would hit enter to run the code. Now, before you do that, there's a couple of things you need to know. In order for the code to connect to Topstep, you of course need to have an actual account. So you need to have some type of active account. And then you would need, and I didn't know this, I had no idea what this was. You would need a way to connect your Python script directly to Topstep. Now that is done via an API, but to communicate back and forth, you're going to have a Project X, or you're going to need a Project X account. Now the Project X account is what ChatGPT will guide you through in order to get the API set up. And this account actually costs about $14 per month. Here it says 30 bucks, but I think there's a discount somewhere. I actually got a discount. It was still 15 bucks a month. But once you do that, you'll be good to go, and you can just feed ChatGPT whatever credentials it's asking. Now, the way this works, after you have your Project X account set up, you would need to go over to your Topstep dashboard and click on settings. And after you click on settings, it'll be the gear icon in the left-hand column. You will go over to the API tab, and then you will see the option there to connect your Project X account. So now it's connected. Okay. So the first step is having ChatGPT create a script for your trading logic. The next step is going to be to create your Project X account. And then, of course, your third step is going to be to connect the Project X account to your Topstep account. All right. And once you do that, you'll be able to utilize your API key, and you'll just fill in the blanks, and it should work for you. It'll start working for you through Python. So I set this up through Python. I got it working after several prompts, back and forth prompts through ChatGPT. And then what I did, and this is the interesting part, I went over to Riplet and I told Riplet, let's look at the main window here. I told Riplet over here, I said, hey, create me a TopstepX trading bot based on this logic. So I took the working script, pasted it in here, and it created the front end for me. And then it began creating what you see here on the screen, which is what you can see here. And I'll show you exactly what that looks like as I log in. So let me log in real quick. All right, and before I log in, I need to flip over here and get the API key. And this is what you'll do as well. You click on the gear icon over here, and then you go over to API, and then your API key is going to be in here, and all you do is just copy it. Now the Project X linking, this is where you would link your Project X. So after you create your Project X account, you just hit link and it'll link it. So let me get this API key and then jump back over to the other screen. All right, so I just copied the API key, and now I'm going to put in my username and the API key, and I'm going to go ahead and connect it to Topstep. All right, so immediately after I put in my username and API key, you see here, it found the accounts, the 2 accounts found, and that means it's connected. And now I'm going to select the account I want this to run on, so I'll select the express funded account and continue. All right, so now this is the actual dashboard you see here, and we could have also did this in a bigger screen here, but this is the dashboard here. And the way this works is I have it set up now on a 5-minute chart, but the way I have the strategy set up is I have the number of contracts here, MNQ only. I have the stop loss points, take profit points, and then I put the time frame, a time frame selector here. Initially, this automatically ran on the 5-minute time frame, but it's hard to test because you have to actually have a real live scenario to test. So I put 30 seconds in here just so I can see it in action, even though the strategy itself works off of a 5-minute chart. So I'll leave it on 5 minutes, but this is the take profit is 10, stop loss is 80, and then down here, I had to allow for inputs for the 10 EMA and 20 period EMA. If your strategy operates off of a moving average, you will need something like this. Otherwise, you see it will skip 10 bars or skip 200 bars, meaning it will wait till 200 bars pass before it actually starts trading because it would need those 200 bars to actually calculate your moving average. So instead of doing that, I just said, no, don't calculate it. I will give you the current moving average. I will go to the chart. I will, of course, have to hit update parameters to make sure that this information is locked into the algorithm. And the way it works, as soon as it starts trading, when it detects a signal, it is going to, once it detects a signal, it will give you a message that says signal detected. And then it is going to tell you that it's entered here. So it'll say entry. And the way I have this set up is I had to have different prompts to tell me when a signal was detected and when it entered a signal. And I actually gave it the prompt to create a trade log because if you're just sitting here waiting, you don't know if it's detecting a signal or not. So you need to tell it to create your trade log. All right, so when you want to stop the program, of course, you would come over here and hit stop, stop trading. We'll let it run for just a second, see if something comes up. All right, so that took about 8 minutes or so. But as you can see, the position just populated. It entered a sell position, and it begins to show you the current profit and loss. And this is only on a 1 MNQ contract. So we'll just leave it open and see if it'll hit our take profit of 10 points. Once it hits the take profit of 10 points, it closes the position out. So we'll give it just a second here. In the market, again, this is it's 6:10 p.m. Central Standard Time. So it's kind of later. And that's pretty much it. So let's recap real quick. The first thing we did is we went over to ChatGPT. We said create us a strategy that works with Topstep that does whatever your strategy is, that buys when, when that sells when, and then you tell it what the take profit and stop loss should be. And then we go over to Project X. We create our account. And then from there, we go over to our TopstepX dashboard, and then we link our Project X account. All right, we want to go over to our TopstepX dashboard, go into the settings, and then go to the API tab. Then we want to link our Project X account. And then we want to have those credentials and have that information linked, so when ChatGPT asks you for it, it could actually put it inside the program. Um, some other optional things we want to do is we want to download Python. We want to get this working, troubleshoot, go back and forth if you get an error message. Get this working in Python after you download Python. Get it working here in Python. Once it's working, you want to go over to Riplet and you want to tell Riplet to, hey, build me a bot that does this, that trades on my TopstepX account based upon this logic. And then you give Riplet the logic and it creates a platform for you here. And another tip for you guys is what I'm looking at now is the logs. If you get an error message, it will show up in the logs here, down here in the logs. So I kind of watch that. And if I do get an error message, I'll go over here and tell us to check the logs and fix the error. But that is pretty much it. That is exactly how you create a TopstepX trading bot. And again, guys, this is the coolest thing, and it works great. Uh, if you like this type of content, be sure to subscribe. Also want to show you guys, I'll be creating another video showing you guys how I created this calculator right here. This is a prop firm challenge calculator. And as you can see, you put in what you want to trade here, put in your risk level. I normally go with high and calculate your plan. And then it's going to give you the number of days to a payout here, and your position size, what your daily profit should be, the max number of MNQ contracts you should trade. And if we were to go up here and select, NQ and hit a 50K account, it is going to tell you the risk is too high, too high, too high. All right, another thing that's built into this is a trading journal. So you can see I can simply upload a file, like I've uploaded these two files, and it gives me my daily profit, similar to some of those other popular trading platforms out there. When you click on it, it gives you a list of trades here. Well, it gives you the charts here, but you can also get a list of trades here. Just a way to keep up with your trades. And again, you can upload, clear everything, but it's pretty cool. So if you guys want to see the details on how I create this, go to the channel and look up Prop Firm Challenge Calculator, and I will show you exactly how I created this calculator. Again, thank you guys for watching, and be sure to subscribe.